What's up, it's cinemashogun here, and America is experiencing a major cyber attack as we speak. Chinese hackers have successfully hacked into critical infrastructure right here in the US. And look, we talk about World War III a lot on this channel because personally, I believe that we are already in the middle of World War III. In fact, I believe that World War III started years ago. Now, I often get a lot of pushback about that opinion. People say, oh, trust me, you'll know when World War III is here. You'll know. Well, you see, I think that when people think of World War III, they envision this vision of nuclear bombs flying overhead everywhere, enemy soldiers invading America, America invading other countries. They think of this all-out chaotic world warfare of the likes that we've never seen, everyone fighting each other. But in reality, I don't think that's what World War III is going to look like. We have advanced as a civilization. Our militaries have advanced far beyond what you see on your TV screens, far beyond what you know. And much of World War III, in my opinion, is going to be fought through cyber warfare and other, dare I say, futuristic means of warfare. Like, for example, how many of you all are familiar with like the Revolutionary War and stuff like that? You know, back in the day, during the Revolutionary War, armies used to line up. They would line up in formations and march directly towards the enemy as the enemy shot them down. You know, looking back on that type of warfare now, it looks absolutely idiotic. Why in the hell would you march soldiers in formation right into enemy fire? For honor, for dignity? Because it looked elegant? Because it seemed like the royal thing to do? So when you look back on a lot of ancient warfare, or a lot of warfare from centuries ago, you may laugh at their tactics. But fast forward to 2023. Honestly, putting boots on the ground is kind of barbaric. That's so 20, 30 years ago. There's no point in really putting boots on the ground in today's day and age unless, population control. You want a certain portion of the population wiped out, and a war is a good way to do that. But in the day and age of unmanned fighter jets, all of these different bombs and missiles, you can fight a war from a control room all the way across the world without a single soldier setting foot on enemy soil. Now, of course, that's not the case with every country and every nation. And one could make the argument that you still need soldiers on the ground for, to occupy certain areas, maybe for like door-to-door urban combat. But for the most part, we have reached a point where war can be fought without boots on the ground. We've even reached a point where war can be fought without bloodshed. By strictly attacking other people's infrastructure, attacking other people's economies, cyber attacks, like what we're witnessing right now. So when you think of World War III and you think of people exploding and nuclear bombs flying everywhere, understand that World War III may look a lot different. World War III may look like, hey, the busiest street in your town has their traffic lights hacked into, and it disrupts the local economy. World War III might not be a nuclear bomb dropping on New York City. It might be the power grid being knocked out by hackers, causing hundreds of deaths, maybe even thousands, people panicking, hospitals not being able to provide oxygen and things of that nature. You have to really think about war very differently in today's day and age. But before I go any further, let's go ahead and roll this clip from the news, and then I'll be right back with more thoughts.
Post reveals hackers affiliated with China's People's Liberation Army have infiltrated critical services here in the U.S.
Alexandra Hoff joins us now from our nation's capital. Alex, this is not good.
No, it's not. I mean, this infiltration appears to be part of a broader effort to insert chaos into our logistical systems. The information collected could then be weaponized if the U.S. and China were to become engaged directly in the Pacific. According to reporting from the Washington Post citing multiple U.S. and industry security officials, China's cyber army is invading critical U.S. services, like an attempt to break into the system behind Texas's independent power grid. Other victims include a water utility in Hawaii, a West Coast port, and at least one oil and gas pipeline, according to that report you're seeing there. Brendan Wells, executive director of the Department of Homeland Security Cybersecurity Agency, told the Washington Post this, quote, "It is very clear that Chinese attempts to compromise critical infrastructure are in part to pre-position themselves to be able to disrupt or destroy that critical infrastructure in the event of a conflict, to either prevent the United States from being able to project power into Asia or to cause societal chaos inside the United States to affect our decision-making around a crisis." The report notes that over the past year, hackers affiliated with the People's Liberation Army in China have accessed the computer systems of about 24 critical entities.
So I don't know if you've been paying attention. I haven't had a chance to talk about it much with all of these other conflicts going on in the world. But things are popping off in the Pacific right now. China is bullying a lot of ships that are traveling through the area from the Philippines. Japan's starting to get worried, even Australia. A lot of countries, a lot of areas, a lot of little islands on that side of the world, they're preparing for the inevitable because China looks like it wants to make a move. Now, simultaneously, whenever this happens, I do believe that China has already infiltrated into a lot of our infrastructure like we're hearing right now. And they may not do something today, not tomorrow, but when the time is right, they will strike. So as they invade Taiwan or make a move somewhere else, simultaneously all hell is going to break loose in America because they're going to have the ability to shut down our power grids, maybe hack into electric vehicles, who knows, hack into bank accounts, deplenish people's bank accounts. All hell is going to break loose, basically. And everyone in America, you kind of get this sense of, oh, when wars happen, it doesn't really affect us on our soil. Well, through cyber warfare, other countries will be able to attack Americans right on American soil without having to really have to attack Americans on American soil. They'll be able to hurt us in different ways. In ways that will hurt our country probably more than us losing a few hundred soldiers on the battlefield. And the craziest part is that all of this is happening. Our government knows it's happening, and to make no mistake about it, our government is hacking into other countries as well. It's not one-sided. It's not like it's just China doing this. All of the powerful countries around the world are doing this now. But it's always weird to me that world leaders meet, like you'll have the Joe Biden meet with the leader of China, or the leader of India, or the leader of any of insert country's name here, and they have these cordial meetings, talking and shaking hands, knowing that both their countries are fighting each other through cyber warfare. Like, my question is, how far do you allow our enemies to go? How far do you allow them to push? How much do you allow them to do through cyber warfare before you respond? Will we reach a time where people respond to cyber warfare with real warfare? Like, one day will we drop a bomb on someone and say, hey, it's because they hacked into the Starbucks computer system? You know what I mean? Just plain, but for example, one day will we strike another country with real physical bombs in response to a cyber attack? That's yet to be seen, but that's a conversation that needs to be had. But as of right now, rest assured that we are fighting. We're in the middle of war, regardless if you like it or not. And much of the war that is going on is a war that you'll never see, a war that you'll never know about until you wake up one day and wonder why your power is off, even though you paid the light bill. You know, like things like that, folks. But it is what it is. All in all, we are headed to some interesting times. And for now, I want to know your thoughts about it down in the comments below. What do you think about this? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you think that this is something do you think that we should worry more about these cyber attacks as opposed to actual physical attacks? Let me know your thoughts about all of that down in the comments below. If you're feeling generous and you would like to support this channel, you could do so directly via Cash App. I will have my Cash App in the pinned comment of this video, or you can donate via Super Thanks. It goes a long way to helping support the channel. Or you can help the channel for free by sharing the video, liking, subscribing, ringing the notification bell, and all of that good stuff. But with that being said, I'll talk to you all soon in the next video.